Hello. It's 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Uh-oh. Ring the bells. Anyway. Hello, everybody. It is 4 o'clock. I'm glad you joined me, party. I have my new computer, and I'm live from my computer. Thank you for coming. I got a troll. I need to get some moderators. Anybody want to be my mod? Cameron Clegg. Hi, Cameron. This is Grandma. My grandson's here. Hi, Cameron. This is my grandson. It's been a very, very hard week. Very, very hard week. Here's one of the reasons why I haven't told Cameron yet. This is our golden retriever, Marley. She had to be put down. Our vet came here, so that was very nice. I'm going to talk about something, personal experience of mine. Larry, I'm going to go outside. Can you hook me up outside? Larry? Yeah. I'm going to go outside. So, can you hook me up outside? I know it's raining, but I'm going to go in the back, just right here. Oh, look at all these birds. Look at those pine systems. One of them landed on my shoulder while I was talking about asking if God cares. I don't know if you saw it. If God cares about animals and if they go to heaven, because I was going to lose my golden retriever, Marley, any minute then. So I was struggling. Oh, there's some quail. Dan quail. Look at that quail running across the lawn there. I'm sorry you can't see them. Anyway, I'm going to sit here in this area and talk about a very personal experience with my fibromyalgia and my autoimmune stuff that has been plaguing me for some time. I found out I do not have Crohn's disease. I don't have lupus. I was told I had lupus. I was told I had all these things wrong with me. Yes, it was wrong, but my blood work never came back positive. So a lot of the doctors just thought I was malingering. That means lying for attention. My family thought I was lying. My husband knew that I was not feeling well. And Cameron, remember Kyle, or remember Marley? Oh, it was so hard. I made a video of that with the vet coming here and putting her down. I was so glad that the vet could come over to our house and not have to put her in the car. And she always got scared from the car or going to the vet. So my husband's going to hook up and then I had that spinal fusion surgery, 10 weeks ago. And it was supposed to be, it had a 30% failure rate. And I felt really good. Here, move this thing. You're going to get the patient out of the chamber. Yes. Okay. He's got somebody in the hyperbaric chamber. Anyway, I was pretty upset about my spinal fusion being somewhat of a failure, not a complete failure, because it did help some, but I began having pain and numbness and then sciatica pain, which is just unrelenting. Look at that beautiful view. So I got feeling sorry for myself, and I was crying, and my husband and I got into a huge fight. I think that's the biggest fight we've ever had since we've been married. The COVID being under lockdown here hasn't really affected us because we're homebodies anyway. And so going out doesn't bother us. We stay home a lot. And we have a big house. Too big, 4,500 square feet for 3 people. We have a renter in our guest house, Paul. He came to us sight unseen. We didn't know who he was, just a stranger from a church that needed a couple of nights to stay after he got out of the hospital because he had a stroke and he has dementia. And he needed someone to care for him. So, and he didn't have any money. He doesn't have enough to pay rent. And rent around here is about $2,000 a month when you add everything up. And he had a big ragdoll cat named Misty, and so he was losing his cat. His cat went back to the breeder, and we would have taken Misty, rehomed her. But anyway, we let him stay for a couple of days. And then I saw what a nice and caring man he was. So we told him we would let him live in the guest house for a couple of weeks until he got put in his care facility. That was 5.5 years ago. Anyway, he's staying with us. He lives in the guest house. That's 1,100 square feet. It's fully furnished. If you want to see pictures of it, you can see. Just check my channel out. The huge ragdoll, Mr. Misty, that's his cat. And Paul, it's a little bit stressful having to watch over somebody all the time and not go anywhere because, well, he goes with us. He likes to go with Larry, likes having a hamburger. But the other day he threw out his brand new underwear, said that it doesn't fit. So I have to go through his trash and watch him a little more carefully. So, but my husband and I got into an epic fight, and I felt so depressed that I didn't want to keep going on. The pain meds they give you, they can't give you much because they're worried about opioid addiction and overdosing. But people with pain, only 1% of the people that are on opioid pain meds management, only 1% of them become addicted. We become tolerant, yes, and we build up a tolerance, but that doesn't mean we're addicted. It's when we, you heart trolls, Kiki, my granddaughter, my son called my granddaughter Kiki, huh? Matt Cameron, are you still here? Thank you for praying for me, Teresa, and Ocean Wave. I don't know if I want to talk about what happened, but God has his way of protecting everyone if you ask for help. But I didn't even want to pray. I was so angry at God because my pain is just awful. The day I got home from the hospital, for I stayed 2 or 3 nights in the hospital for my spinal fusion. It's only been 8 weeks, and I was encouraged because I felt good, and I thought the surgery had worked. Well, I came home, and that was somebody I know sent me an email, and she has some emotional mental issues, and I've been paying $170 a month for her daughter's flute lessons and giving her $150 worth of vitamins. So I've been giving her $300 a month. And she's never sent me a card, never sent an email saying thank you. And I get out of the hospital and I get a text from her saying, well, are you going to pay my daughter's, are you going to continue paying, or will I have to pay? I wrote back, what? No, hello, how are you? Has your surgery been praying for you? And then she wrote back, well, you've been mean to me. You've been fear mongering. She doesn't believe in COVID. She thinks it's a joke. And that is just a bunch of trolls causing problems. She believes in flat earth. And she says that she's not going to wash her hands or follow any procedure. And she's angry that our church has been having outdoor church. My husband built a FM transmitter and to broadcast the church live to people in the parking lot or the surrounding areas. And she says that was demonic, that we should go inside the church. And I said, no, we have to follow the
The rules. We just have, those are the rules. Why bucket? You know, just follow the rules and wear a mask or make it look like you're wearing a mask. You can have a piece of gauze that looks like a mask. Just do what you're told and don't cause problems. And she says, well, that's demonic. And having the, you know, she says it was just wrong that my husband had that. So I thought, wow. So I says, I just got home from the hospital and I says, we need to just, you know, come to church, the church fellowship outside. It's, we can say hi, we can interact with each other, we can walk around our cars, keep social distancing, wear a mask if you please do. You don't have to wear a mask out in the parking lot if you're staying away from people. And she says, well, you've really hurt me. And she says, well, I guess it's too much to ask you to pay for my daughter's lessons. But half the time she didn't show up. So I don't know. I was just paying a lot of money for nothing. And I don't even know if she practiced. But anyway, she says, well, may God have mercy on your soul and may he protect you and your health. 3 times she wrote, may God have mercy on you for being such a bad person. And I take it as a curse. She cursed me. And I just thought, wow, it just was, it just really hurt me because I have given her so much. And for her to say, you know, be careful and may God have mercy on your soul and your health, it's, you know, it is really bad. That's not what a person should write to anybody. And she says, well, I'll just pay it to myself. And then she tried to call my husband. And she says that my husband needs to to get some sense into me. And my husband didn't want to talk to her, so he blocked her. And then she accused my husband of worshiping me, that he is my God, or I am his God. And that he says, well, you know what happens to people when they worship each other, you know, you get bad things happen. So it kind of scared me. My husband says God's power is mightier than hers, and she's the one that's going to get a curse. And the Bible says if you curse somebody, you're going to get cursed. And I had somebody at church curse me. Oh, firecrackers. Hey. Anyway, I guess we can do firecrackers. We couldn't do them at 4th of July, that's for sure. So I had somebody be so mean to me at church. And I was in the hospital for 21 days. I had an artervenous malformation that isn't like an aneurysm. And I bled for, was 2.5 years until they found the artervenous malformation. It was the size of a baseball. And they found it by accident. Anyway, when the doctor touched it, it blew up in his hands. And he says, you were a sneeze away from sudden death. And I had, my hemoglobin got to 5.1. That is low. You're almost die. My sister didn't believe it. She said that I was lying, that no one can live with the hemoglobin that low. And I sent her my lab results, and she says, no, that I altered them. She's into psychology. She's a psychologist for the state of Oregon. She drinks and smokes pot. Anyway, she's always been jealous of me. And I loved my sisters. They're blowing firecrackers there. I know. Call the cops. Anyway, is Sharon out? Yeah. Oh, okay. You need to call the cops. That's bad. Anyway, so I was in the hospital for 21 days. My dog Satin was on my bed for 20 of the days because I had a double bowel resection. They took out my small intestine, half of my small intestine, in one spot, and then towards the jejunum where they found the AVM. So I was pretty weak, and I was on 1,000 milligrams of prednisone, steroids. Oh my gosh. And I was shaking. I lost 50 pounds. I looked good. So my husband liked that. He says, yeah, you need to lose weight. So, yes, Mary's Curious Life. Can I join? Yes, absolutely. I have some information for you that's going to blow the lid off your fibromyalgia fatigue. Take methyl B12. Go back to my last. Is anybody started on the methyl B12? Did you find it? Was it hard to find? Costco has it for $20 for 300. Did anybody take my advice? If not, I'm going to get mad. Already on it, Mary's methyl B12. Mary, is that methyl B12? Not cyanocobalamin. And then watch the movie. I'll leave a link to the methyl B12. Oh, RN. Okay, Mary's Life. RN. Are you still working? And what department? What's your specialty? My mom was an RN, and her specialty was OBGYN, postpartum. She always worked nights. So anyway, so I got out of the hospital. I was skinny as a rail because my good weight is 165. Now I'm almost 200. That's a little bit too fluffy. But I like to say it's COVID. I was fat before COVID. So anyway, oh, you worked in ER. Oh, I love, we had trauma designation at Portland Adventist where I worked. I was a phlebotomist. Are you impressed? A phlebotomist. That's nothing but a bloodsucker. I thought you had to go to school for like 20 years. I learned on the job. The second day I started poking people, but I loved doing trauma. I liked going on to the back of the helicopter and drawing the patient before they were unloaded so we can get type and cross to get some blood whenever needed. Anyway, so then this woman, we started going to this church, this local church, and this one family were quite wealthy. And so they wanted to be, yeah, I'm okay, Kiki, thank you. And I'm doing much, much better, even though we lost Marley, our golden retriever, had to be put to sleep, and we got her ashes back yesterday. So it was 2 days ago that the vet came here. I'm getting rained on. I'm not crying. But anyway, so we wanted to help. I'm not going to say we're super rich, but we have enough to help the church, and we like to do things for our church and people that need help. So, but please don't ask for money. But anyway, so my husband wanted to do some, offer some things. They were building this church. The church was just being built. And I made some sandwiches and soup and salad, potato salad for the workers, and I'd take it to the church and then feed people. This was before my bowel surgery. So this one woman, Vivian, and she was threatened by our wanting to help. I guess she felt like she wanted the glory. But when we give, we don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing, especially when you help people. You just do it anonymously. You don't let them know where the money came from. You just pay their rent, or give them some groceries, or have somebody take them groceries, and remain anonymous, because we don't want any praise. It's God that gives us. We have a beautiful home that's paid for, and we like to help others, and we're thinking of selling it. We had an offer of $1.2 million, and we can walk away with that much. That'd be fun. Isn't the background gorgeous? But where can I find another view like this? And we were thinking, wow, we could go anywhere, take our money, but this is $1 million view. So I don't know. So she felt threatened, and she was kind of snooty to me for a long time. So they had some kind of information fair at the church after it was almost finished and they were moving in. And they asked my husband to come teach. My husband teaches intelligent design, and he is really, really good. He's one of the best teachers they have. His parents are educators, and his grandparents were all University of Washington professor, and they lived there. My husband was conceived on the campus of University of Washington there in Seattle. That's where he gets all his smart. But he loves teaching intelligent design. I wished he could do that now, the online. That would be fun. But he has oral cancer, and so his speech has really gotten bad with all the surgeries he's had. Tongue cancer. He had to remove his tongue. So, and he coughs a lot. And anyway, so he wanted me to go with him to the church. Well, he went to this info fair, and I said, okay, I'll go with you. So I went with him, and I walked in. You know, I could barely walk, and he was holding my hand, and I was really shaky and unsteady on my feet. And I'm going to try to stand up. Oh, standing up is so hard to do with my spinal. Oh, now I can see my zits. I put on makeup and lipstick. Hey. Ew, I look yellow. No, I don't have hepatitis. Isn't that gorgeous? The helicopters were flying around there. They're harvesting Christmas tree, and I want to go over there and take some videos of the Christmas tree. So I have a surprise for anybody. You know those warmy bags, those flax bags that you heat in the microwave? They're flannel. If you want one, I'll send you one for free. I'll pay for it and pay for the shipping. No, just because you're here and you're fibromyalgia. Contact me at zeldazelda@rconnects.com, and I'll leave a link for you. Zeldazelda at Reliance Connects, that's short, rconnects with an s.com. And let me know what kind of Val, your fibromyalgia off the charts. I'm sorry. Take a hot bath with some those crystals. Oh, see, fibromyalgia fog. I got stupid today with those magnesium crystals. What do they call those things? Somebody help me. Yeah, prednisone is awesome, but don't take it at night. You'll be up all night, wet in the bed. It makes you wee really bad. Hi, Karen McMillan. That was my doctor's rheumatologist. He is the one that diagnosed me at Kaiser with rheumatoid arthritis. But even though my test came back all negative, come to find out, I have EDS. That's not erectile dysfunction. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And my granddaughter has it. She has every indication of having Ehlers-Danlos. So just look up EDS and then AVM. Oh, look at the helicopter. You can't see it. Anyway, they said that is why my pain is so bad. And he did the test, and he's a very older, knowledgeable man who specializes in this kind of thing. And he said, that's what's wrong with me. So back to my story about this lady, Vivian, who felt so self-righteous about being nasty to me. But I walked in the church, and there she was with all her crony friends beside her. And I walked in, and she motioned for me to come sit down. I thought, oh, she's going to be nice to me. Oh, because I've never done anything wrong, and I couldn't understand why she was so nasty to me for all these years or months. And so I went over there, and to where she was, she had like 2 or 3 people on each side of her because she was a wealthy woman, and everybody was, respected her because her and her husband were millionaires, and we're not millionaires. But I mean, $1,000,000 doesn't get you much any day. I got $1,000,000 view and $1,000,000 piano. So that was my teacher that was playing praise hymns, and I'll have praise hymns playing for 15 minutes before I go live. I'll go live, but then the praise hymns will play for 15 minutes from 3:45 until 4 o'clock. And if you have a special hymn you would like played, let me know, and I won't play it. I'll have my teacher play it. She plays much better than I do. Diane's been playing for 60 years, and Pam has been playing for 60 years. So they're both professional. They get paid for their music playing, and I'm just learning. So back to that story. I walked in, and Vivian was head of Damage State Hospital. She was a physician's assistant. That is just a two years short of a doctorate degree. And she, thought she's hot stuff being in charge of all the mental ill patients here in Oregon. And she said, "Oh, hi. Haven't seen you around for a while." And I says, "Yeah, I've been in the hospital. I was in for 21 days. She goes, "Oh, what's your diagnosis?" I says, "Oh, I have Crohn's disease and I had a double bowel resection." She goes, "No, no, no, no. Your mental diagnosis." I said, "What? I don't have a mental diagnosis." "Oh, I thought you do because you're shaking really bad. And that indicates that you're on a medication that makes you, do you have schizophrenia or anything?" I said, "No." She shouldn't ask that. If I had schizophrenia, I didn't ask for it. I don't have it. But people that are bipolar and have schizophrenia, they don't ask for that. I have a family member that was severely schizophrenic. My husband's uncle, his wife, she was a wonderful woman, and she battled schizophrenia, as did her son, and it ruined her life and her husband's and her whole family's life. Thank God her husband stayed with her, but she didn't ask for that. Nobody asked for this pain. Nobody asked for mental illness or being fat. I shouldn't fat shame people because I fat shamed Sarah. It's called Sarah Kitchen. It's not Sarah's, but Sarah Kitchen. Simply Sarah Kitchen. She's about 450 pounds, but man, she can cook, and she has 500,000 subs. I can't even get 1,000 subs. I have 631 subs, and I know at least 20 people have subscribed this week, and it's still at 631. I don't know what's wrong. YouTube is really not counting my subs, but anyway. And look at my beautiful roses there. Remember that purple bush from this summer? I will share my secret, how I got that to bloom. That's a heritage rose. It's lavender. And early this spring, it was just beautiful because the buds were real tight. So I'll share with you. Anyway, so Vivian asked me that question, and I was embarrassed, and because the gals started laughing. They're going, she says, "Well, I see you're really shaking, and that's an indication of having taken medications for for schizophrenia or something." I said, "No, I have Crohn's disease and I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I had a bowel resection, and I've been through hell because I had 60 units of blood. I had 60 transfusions over a 2.5 year period of time. I was in the hospital for 48 hours every time I got blood product because I start running a little fever. Not big, just like 99 or 100. And that means I react to the blood, so they make me stay at inpatient for 48 hours. My sister argued with me and said, "No, you don't do that. You go to a fusion center, blah, blah, blah," because my sister was a nurse to not an RN, but just a practical nurse or LPN or whatever. But anyway, I was so sad, and I started to cry because those girls, the snotty girls that support Vivian, really, really, I was suffering. I'd been in the hospital for 3 weeks. I had my guts ripped open. I had a 6-hour surgery, laparotomy. That's where they open you up. I look like I have a zipper in my middle. And I lost all that weight. Yeah, I have a channel. This is my channel, Kiki. Zelda. There's 2 Zeldas. A goofy one and I like to goof around. Anyways, I'll tell you in a couple weeks how I got the name Zelda. It's funny. And I started to cry because she would not let it go. She wanted me to have this mental illness, and I was supposed to give it up of what I was taking. And I said, no, I'm taking 1,000 milligrams of prednisone and antibiotics. And she says, boy, I thought you had mental illness, and because of my training and everything, I should know. And I says, she didn't know me. She didn't know a thing about me except for my husband and I were helping build that church and giving a lot. But I think that just threatened her. And this was at the end of October, and I felt so embarrassed and shamed and not validated. And that's what I want to do here with everybody, is support you, validate. You do have pain, you do have fatigue, but you look fine. You look like nothing's wrong with you, and people don't like to believe you. And look at here, an RN here. She knows she works in the ER. What was your name? Anyway, it's horrible. And Mary's Curious Life, her mom was a medical technologist. That's 4-6 years of college. My sisters both have their PhDs. I didn't. I got pregnant. I was raped, and I got pregnant when I was 17. I was drugged and raped, and I had gotten kicked out of home because my parents blamed me for everything. It's a long story. I'm writing a book. It's called On My Way Home, about how God protected me so many times, and how I had child abuse and just so much. It was like Satan was always after me because I kept trying to be good. I kept trying to return to God. And so anyway, I went to my car and I sat in the car and I just sobbed. I just put my head on my lap and I just sobbed. And all those old feelings of like when I was hated by my parents, and I went to a new school every year because my parents were always running from creditors and the landlords. Cameron, are you still here? Yeah, I was bullied. You bet I was. I was bullied by the teachers, bullied my family, my sisters. I'm older. I'm 9 and 7 years older than my sister, and 21 years older than my brother. So even my own sister bullied me. And let me tell you, the Bible says when you curse somebody, they will get cursed. And I just watched a TV program about that. And I talked to my husband. I says, remember when Vivian cursed me? So I went out to the car and I cried. And then my husband came out after about an hour and he says, what happened? And I told him. I says, I want to go in and tell the church board and everybody and tell them exactly what she did, shame me in front of everybody. I was wanting blood. But my husband said, Cheryl, that's not the way we do things. He says, the Lord will take care of it. You pray, leave it in the Lord's hands. But I kept thinking, I want to go to the church board. I want everybody to know how mean she was to me and how cruel. How could you let her be a church leader? How can you let her get away with that? And then Thanksgiving came, and I hadn't done anything. And then it was middle of Christmas, and I was feeling better, a little bit better, and healing. But it takes a long time to heal when you had a lot of your intestines removed. And we decided not to go to that church and not to support them or give anything. So we stayed at the church close by here. And my husband didn't accept teaching their program. So they lost out by my husband not teaching and by us no longer supporting them financially. And so they lost a lot of two good people, because my husband and I are very good people. We try hard. I like to decorate tables, and that's been my specialty for 30 years, is decorating the tables at potluck. And believe me, I get resistance. People argue with me and get mad, and they get jealous. And I had two other people curse me over the table decorations. You're not going to believe what happened. Anyway, my husband didn't want me to do anything or to tell anybody at church. He says, just let it go, Cheryl. Just let it go. God will take care of her in her time. Christmas Day. I don't like this. I don't find any joy in this. But her husband took a shotgun and blew her head off on Christmas Day. You could look up Vivian Bigus, Bighus, in Oregon on Cherryville Road. Google search it. Her son was mentally ill, and he blew her head off on Christmas Day. She never said she was sorry. She never made peace with me. Then there was another woman, Candy. She tried to hit me during church. I went into the pot kitchen, and she just flew into a rage, and she tried to hit me. She called me the F name, and she tried to pull my hair, and my husband going, what? And my husband prevented her from hitting me, and she went out in the hallway, and she goes, F you, you're that bitch. And I went, everybody in church can hear it. And I have no idea why she did that. Her name is Candy Dempsey. And she was 65, and she was having an affair with this 90-year-old man who was a millionaire. So she was a gold digger. But anyway, she liked to decorate, and she gave me some potpourri from a couple of weeks after Christmas, and she says she can't use it because she had a store. And her husband, Chuck, started having dementia, and she started taking all of his money. Now she was 62 or 64. Anyway, it was just crazy how she tried to beat me up. A few weeks later, she got the worst kind of breast cancer she could have, and she died. She cursed me. And there's another woman at the church who did the same. Wouldn't let me play music in the children's department. So when you curse somebody, you are on dangerous ground. So a lot of these stories I'm telling you because I want you to know that when you have fibromyalgia, you look just fine. People are going to roll their eyes and go, yeah, you're right. You're sick. You're fatigued. Yeah. I know you are. I know you're hurt. Epsom salt. Thank you, Amber. Take a hot bath in Epsom salt. Please take a hot bath. That will help you. I promise. If not, I'll give you 50 cents for the water. But anyway, please, please contact me. Only those that are here that make a comment during your live. I can't do this when I have 60 or 80 people afterwards, but there's about 10 people here and I can do that. I will make you those warmie bags. If you want 2 sets, let me know. If you have a mom or family member that needs, you're going to love these. They're bags they put in the microwave. And oh, Kiki, you have RA. Oh, that's awful. But anyway, always know that when somebody makes fun of you or doesn't believe you, they are not going to receive a blessing. They are cursing you because you're hurt. You're a hurting soul, and God knows that you hurt. And it's not fair when people don't believe you or think that you're just malingering or lying, that you want attention. That's what my family did to me. My mother quit talking to me. My sister, my whole family turned their back on me when I was so sick. And I tell you what, none of them are blessed. None of them. So those who curse you are not going to receive a blessing, and God will take care of you. Just ask. I know I'm getting religious. A lot of people don't believe in God, and that's okay with me. That's a relationship with God is a personal thing. He doesn't believe in God. That's okay. I still love him. Right, Cameron? That's okay. Because sometimes a father figure is a negative deal. But when you pray, you can pray to the flying spaghetti monster. He doesn't care what you call him. God, Allah, this flying spaghetti monster. And now I'll tell about what happened to me last week. We had the COVID. I had my spinal surgery. First came the COVID, then no more church, and no fellowship with anybody. I don't have any friends. Hi, Grandma. Cinnamon hot. Hi, how are you? Avalon Apples. Hello. I'm glad you came by. Is the coast clear? Cinnamon hot. She lives on the ocean. Lucky her. You got to check out her channel, Cinnamon hot. Anybody else have a channel here? I'm so glad you came by, Kiki. You just popped in. Oh, I was going to tell you about Victoria's Secret. Remember? I know what Victoria's Secret is. She's hungry. That's Victoria's Secret. And next week, I want to tell you about what kind of underwear does somebody with fibromyalgia wear? And does your skin get sensitive? Do you turn your clothes inside out because the seam hurts? Sometimes this seam hurts me and it drives me nuts because my skin burns. That is from neuropathy from a B12 deficiency. And if you take methyl B12, that might help. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you get healed, wow, hey, it's just a fluke. But take methyl B12 and watch that movie, B12 Deficiency by Sally Pacholak. And I said, I'll leave these links. Hopefully I'll remember that. So it's raining there. Is it cold, Cinnamon? We're supposed to have 20 degrees on Sunday. So if you check my channel out, I'll take pictures of the icicles and cold. It's, and Otis pooped in the carpet again last night. Our other 2 dogs it affected them with me losing Marley because she was their best pal. So it's been a hard week. And so we had the COVID. Then I had my spinal fusion surgery, and I got out of the hospital 3 days later. got home in the afternoon. And then the next day I was filming, I was videotaping. You could see my videotape from where I said I felt something weird was going to happen. I told my husband, and you can hear me on tape, I'm really have a bad feeling. I'm not psychic. I don't like being psychic. If you believe that, that's okay. But for me, no, because I think it's demons. It could be demons. The Bible says it's demons, and not to have anything to do with them. And I know they solve mysteries, they solve cases, but doesn't Satan know where those bodies are? I think he does. So I don't like saying I'm psychic, or I have a I have a lot of insight. I have a lot of spidey sense, and that scares me. My kids and grandkids will tell you that grandma knows, and my grandma, my father's mother, had that same spidey sense when I know something's about to happen. I don't know. I'm sure that's God giving me clues because I don't know. But anyway, I said that something bad's going to happen. And I went in the house and I started crying. And I told my husband, something bad's going to happen. Well, we started having the wind, and then the fires began. We had to pack up everything, and we were up till 3 o'clock in the morning packing our motorhome, and terrified, and packing the trucks and everything. And I thought, well, it's just stuff. And there were a few things. My music box that we got in Switzerland, my organ. I was going to take my old pump organ. I was put that in the back of the truck, or put it in my storage. We have a big storage building where we keep the RVs. So I stayed up all night, and then the next day, and then we had some people from church that had to be evacuated. They had no place to go, so they came here. So I had all the animals, food, and everything, and packing up our truck, and the fires. If you look on my videos, some of my videos from a couple of weeks ago, you can see the fires were a mile away from our house, and I watched them being set. They would start right here, and the wind was blowing west, and the fires were getting started east. And I called the police. I says at 2 o'clock in the morning, these fires are being set. And they said, no, because those are down power lines. I says, the power's off. They turned the power off. You can look on the news. They turned the power off the afternoon before the the fires began, because they didn't want it to um, start some fires like the one. It's called the Campground Creek campground fire in Northern California. It's not a campground that caught fire. It's called Campground is the area. And it started with a down power line by somebody who was being stupid. So they thought, wow, you want out of Oregon? I do too. We're thinking of selling. We're thinking of taking that offer. We have an offer of $1.2 million for our house. Take the money and run. But where are we going to go? Because we take us with us. And we don't have Marley anymore. Anyway, so what happened is I didn't get to rest. I was supposed to be in bed and rest. In California, Cinnamon Hot is called a campfire fire. It wasn't a campfire, but that's the name of the area that got burned. And now St. Helena, it's all Pacific Union College. It's a big Adventist college, and the hospital, and a lot of people. We're Seventh Adventist. And Seventh Adventists keep Sabbath Friday night sundown, and we eat cabbage and vegetarian, except when we eat meat. And we don't cuss, damn it. We don't swear, damn it. We don't drink coffee or wine or smoke pot or cigarettes. We live 8 years longer than the average person. because of our health and our diet. But that doesn't make us good people. That doesn't make us saved. What makes us good people is when we're good to others. So I was really depressed about what had happened. And my husband and I got in a big fight. My legs were so numb, I could hardly walk to my car. And we got in a big argument. And I thought, that's it. I don't want to live anymore. I got my gun. Women don't shoot themselves in the head. I would never do that. But I might have a car accident. And I got in my car and I drove towards the forest. 9 miles is Estacada, and that's the last town there is. And then the road to Highway 224 going to Detroit Lake, Bagby Hot Springs, and the Ripple Brook Fire Station. And my doctor lives there. There's about 30 homes, beautiful homes in that area. And the fire was all around them. The fire department was told not to do anything, that let the homeowners do their own work. Thank you, Democrats. Portland and Seattle are the only cities that were Democratic led and has the most destruction. I can't understand why they burned downtown, the statues and everything. It's not on the news for obvious reasons. Anyway, I don't know. So I got in my car and my dogs ran out the door and ran to the car with me. So what can I do? So I let the dogs, I wanted to be alone. I just wanted to go and never come back. And that was my intentions. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to kill myself, but I didn't want to live anymore. I'm tired of the pain. I'm tired of the suffering. And I said, God, damn you. Why? I had a failed rotator surgery, failed knee surgery that needs replaced. And I need both knees replaced. I had a gallbladder surgery and it damaged the bile duct nerve. So I feel like I have a knife in my side. I have fibromyalgia. I have all this other stuff. And now I have Ehlers-Danlos, EDS, and now it's not erectile dysfunction syndrome. It's Ehlers-Danlos. It's a genetic. Yes, I have a chromosome listing in my head. And it's very, very, very painful, and it can be deadly. So I'm not going to live to be an old lady, but I don't want to live to be an old lady because I don't want to keep suffering. And they don't give you pain meds anymore. You're lucky if you get 2 a day. And that doesn't help your pain. But then you become so tolerant that they don't work anymore. Nothing helps. Nothing works. So I was so mad. I kept telling God. I was talking to him, the flying spaghetti monster. And all I said was, damn you, God, kill me. Let me die. Why don't you let me die? And I kept driving and I kept driving, and I was going to go towards Detroit Lake. And that's where the lake, Detroit Lake in Oregon, is just gone. It's the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lake. Look up Detroit Lake. And there was a 13-year-old boy who went back for his grandma, and she got in his car and their tires burned. And they were both found dead with his dog curled up in his lap. Anyway, his dad was driving, trying to get to him. And he saw this woman who was wearing just her underwear. Her clothes had been burned, and her mouth was burned. Her hair was burned off, and her feet had gotten burned to the bone. And he says, I need to pick this woman up on my way. And he says, get in my car, because the fire was raging all around him. So she got in his car, and he was telling her that he needed to get home to pick up his son and his mom. She couldn't talk because her mouth was so burned, and she finally got it through to him. I'm your wife. So his mom is burned clear to the bone on her feet. She lost her son and her mom in that fire in Detroit Lake. I said, God, why didn't you burn my house down? Let that kid live. Why did that? And I love my grandkids. Cameron was my first grandson, and I love him with all my heart. So, and my grandkids, I have his sister Madison. I love them with all my heart. I'd do anything. I would die for them. And knowing that this boy drove to pick up his grandma, and the tires burned off his car, and they were dead. They both died. And for the mom to be found like that with her feet burned clear to the bone, that is the worst pain. The worst pain. I said, God, you could take me home, take everything I have, to not let that happen, but God doesn't bargain do that way. These fires didn't happen by God. These were our own doings, humans' own doings. So I've been pretty sad. And then Marley's had a lump, huge lump, a foot wide lump on her. And the vet, I've sought 2 different consults, and they both said that they can't operate on them. Even when they were smaller, they were about the size of an egg. And he says, you get in there and these get vascular, and these don't go well. And she's 13 years old, so just keep her comfortable. So I knew I was going to lose Marley, and I just love that dog. She's a golden retriever, 13 years old. So I knew I was facing that. And then my pain, I'm going to have another spinal fusion, because they think the clip moved or something, or acts like, because I'm back to having sciatica pain and numbness, just like what I had before the surgery. And sciatica pain is horrible. I'm sorry for crying. But anyway, I didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to keep going. And all this mess of the fire, the COVID, my husband's cancer, my husband's cough. He coughs. He chokes on everything that he eats. He chokes. And there's been a couple of times we've just had to call 911. He choked so bad. And the doctor said he's going to die of choking, even though he's had cancer since he was 35. Oral cancer, tongue cancer. He can still talk, but it's getting worse. And now he has trouble coughing with chewing his food, because all the nerves in his mouth are gone. His mouth is numb, so he can't feel anything, and the food falls in the back, and then he chokes on it. So it's hard to eat with him, because he chokes, and he coughs, and it's just awful. So it's kind of ruined our lives. Like I said, I'd love to live in a single wide dumpy trailer somewhere in an icky trailer park if I felt good, for my health. Money doesn't mean anything. But relationships, having friends, having family, that means everything. And we don't have that. I don't have any relationship with my family except for my grandkids. So I got in my car and I kept driving. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I went up to Promontory Park. It's just the Clackamas River is down here. And the river has a dam, and we like to go boating there. We rent these party boats, and we invite our whole church over. We go to this very small and very poor church, and so we've helped out a lot. But now we don't have church, and there's some things taking place that are pretty bad. Retaliation, I tell you, from the leader down to it stinks. So we're not going to be going there anymore. We're pulling out. My husband's been doing their finances and their books and it's 15 to 20 to 30 hours a week worth of my husband's time. And they were bitching at him because, anyway, long story. So we're out of there. So I was thinking that we don't have the church. There's a church leader who, anyway, when we left the other church, because one of the guys took a liking to me, and he's mentally ill, and he kept calling me and writing me and driving to our house at midnight. He's obsessed with me, and the police, I had to get the search restraining order didn't work because of a relationship with him. Getting a restraining order means nothing. It's bullets can go through paper. So anyway, the only thing we could do was leave that church. So we went to the small church here, and one of the leaders was here helping us with Paul, the guy that lives in the guest house. And I was crying, and she says, "What's the matter?" And I says, "Oh, this thing with Curtis." She goes, "Oh, here we go again. Wah, wah, wah." And here she is, the church leader. Oh my gosh. What a bitch. You don't do that when somebody's crying. And it was a big deal because I was a victim of being sexually abused and raped. And then this guy was coming on to me, sending me 22 texts in one day, telling me that he had a picture of himself and he was in bed doing something. Guess what I'm doing? Playing with yourself. Yeah, I know. Quit calling me. So I had to quit. Yeah, I hate this world too sometimes. And I look forward to the Lord coming back and making everything better. So I obviously didn't kill myself, but I wanted to be dead. I'm too chicken. I don't want to hurt my husband. But I thought if I could just die, just magically die, that's what I wanted, just to magically be gone. So I go past the Promontory Park on Highway 224. I was going to go see the devastation at Detroit Lake. That's how you get there, or to Mount Hood. It's the back roads. Does this sound all right? I haven't gotten a microphone, and I'm going to calling Geek Squad and working with Best Buy has been impossible. I've spent 6 hours trying to get the microphone and get the proper equipment. So anyway, so I'm driving, and I thought, I don't want to hurt my dogs, my precious dogs. I'm not going to do anything. I have a car accident with a head-on with a logging truck. There were logging trucks everywhere because there's hundreds of guys down there pulling the trees, all the burned area. Oh, the devastation here by our house is just horrible. And so many people lost their homes. Poor people. Even they lived in old mobile homes. They lost that. They lost everything. And they're just as devastated as if people that lost a mansion. In fact, they're more devastated because they don't have enough money to rebuild. So I've been pretty depressed and having my pain. And then my husband and I get in that big fight. And I drove. And there's this guy holding signs, road closed. I thought, oh my gosh, well, I'm going to go around it. He says, no, the road's closed. It's full of dead trees and down trees and everything is closed. I said, but my friend owns a house there. He said, no, he can't get to it. There's 30 houses that nobody can get to their houses because the road is closed, it's burned out, and it's going to be closed for a year. So, and it was a black guy, nice looking guy. His name was Stefan. And he looked at me. He says, you know what? It's going to get better. God will watch over you. Now, mind you, I didn't tell him anything. I didn't say, oh, I want to die or anything. He says, no, it's going to be better. Hang on. Things will get better. God has your back. He's coming soon and he's going to make everything better. Black lives matter. I'm not prejudiced at all. And I taught my kids to never be prejudiced. But some of these people are just using that for their own purposes. But my husband must be back home. I haven't told my husband what happened. But anyway, Stefan, he saved my life. So for about 20 minutes, he talked to me. And I just listened. And I started crying. And he says, oh, I wished I could give you a hug. I says, thank you. He says, it's going to get better. You wait and see. Things will be. It's always better. There's always another tomorrow. There's always another day that's going to get better. Just hang in there. And that's my message to you. Somebody wrote that they felt that they just wanted to end it all because of their pain. Don't do it. There's people that love you. There are people that care. It would have killed my husband if I would have died or taken my life. That's a very selfish thing to do, I believe. And I know some people think it's a sin to commit suicide. In my case, yes, but there's some people that are mentally ill and God understands. My email, Mary, is zeldazelda at r, like race, connects, connects, connects.com. I'm going to leave a link. I'll leave my email address and then the links to other things. But yeah, if you tell me what you're into, do you like kitties, cars, Scotty dogs, cats? I have every kind of fabric you can think of, and my sewing room is a mess. And I have an embroidery machine. I also make personalized pillowcases, and it takes me, well, I sell them for about $30-$40. They're really special pillowcases with your name on them. And you can see I just made one for a little girl, little Harper, with horses. And it's really cute. But those flaxseed bags are about this long, 18 inches long by 6 inches wide. And I put 3 or 4 channels in that. And you heat it up in the microwave. You have to heat it up in the microwave. Or it's... some people, I think you can put here. I'll put my address here. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So you can copy and paste that. And this offer for free flax bags, I'll send you a set of 2. Let me know if you want purple velvet, green velvet, cats, dogs, Scotty dog. I have Scotty dog material. So I'll show you my After I'm done here, I'll show you my beautiful sewing room. It's so clean. Not because of my spinal issues. Whoop. What happened? Okay, I didn't end the screen. Anyway, because of my spinal issues and my pain, I have torn rotators and a torn bicep. Look at this. That is called Popeye. That's where the muscle fell off the bicep, or the bicep fell off the shoulder. So my message today, why I told this story about people that say mean things to you, they're giving themselves a curse. Don't retaliate. Don't get even. Let God do. Sometimes it's just people that are just sick that act that way. Sometimes they're evil. And the 3 women that attacked me and cursed me, they were evil. And they're all dead. I didn't want them to die. I didn't think, but they might have hurt other people for a long time. That Vivian certainly hurt me by embarrassing me in front of everybody, saying that I was mentally ill. And she knows better not to make fun of mentally ill or say personal things. And she knows that people that are mentally ill don't ask for that. But I don't have mental illness. Well, that could be debated. I could have Zelda here. But I want you to be encouraged to, if your pain is just so bad and you can't take it, you just can't take it another minute. Tomorrow's going to be better. Find ways to deal with your pain. Paint. Oh, I want to hold a painting class. I want you guys to get old ice skates. The Goodwill has ice skates. Get the nastiest pair of ice skates you can find, and we'll have fun. We're going to do a Christmas project. I'll teach you how to paint those ice skates, and you don't have to know how to paint. You're going to love them. Look up painted ice skates on Pinterest, and that's what we'll do. And if you don't have the fabric or the paint, I can help you. There's Odie. So find ways that you can cope with your pain. Paint, draw. I like to paint. I like to play piano. My husband got me that nice grand piano. And this is what I look like sometimes when I have my portrait done. I'll show you my sewing room. I was responsible for making 1,000. I told you it was real clean here. 1,000, over 1,000 masks when they were out of them. There's my embroidery machine. I can personalize stuff, but I have gobs of fabric. I'm a fabric hoarder. Look at this. That's flannel with little kitties. A bear. Ninja. He might have grandkids. But you name it, I have. I even have dachshunds. Anybody got a little dachsies? Music, horses. This is pillowcases. I have. I like to order special fabric. I order it from Spoon Lily. Look at this one I ordered. I had it made, and it's viruses. This is viruses. This is one of my Lori Vallow mask. I want my lip gloss. I'm going to make that. Oh, and I'm going to make some Lori Vallow underwear and a Lori Vallow prison outfit for her to wear to prison or for her trial. Yeah, I am. I'm going to make her an outfit. So Please sub to my channel so I can make lots of money. Actually, I don't want to. I'm not going to make any money. But I need subs so I need over 1,000 subs so I can go live from my cell phone. But Scotty dog, you want Scotty dogs? Pink Scotty dogs? We used to have Scotties. We've had a number of Scotties throughout our life. That's pink flannel. Shells. Angela critters like this one. But like I said, I'm a fabric hoarder, and I've been buying fabric for decades. And I used to sew. I sew crazy outfits. And but find ways to distract yourself from the pain. And some people, there's a lot of people that need help. If you're feeling depressed and you don't know what to do, call somebody who's been ill. Ask them how they're doing. Don't tell them you're having a hard time. Just ask them how they're doing. And you'll find people that are just desperate, like an old person who's so lonely they don't have any friends or family. There's a lot of people that are just lonely. I wanted to show you, I want to show off my sewing. Oh, I want to enter this in the state fair. I made this for my granddaughter. I made a Christmas tree for the Christmas festival, and the profits they will auction my tree, the tree that you decorate. My tree went for $7,000. I didn't get a penny of it, but anyway, this is a dress that I made for my granddaughter, and I embroidered all those Scotties on there. And anyway, I didn't have a pattern. I can just eye something and just make it. So I used to make dresses for the singing Christmas tree outfit. Anyway, this is another mess. I'm just a mess maker. Anyway, so if you feel like you can't take another minute of the pain, I want you to make a promise that you won't take your life, but you will find a way to distract yourself. Take a hot bath. Call somebody. Don't call Vivian or Candy. I'm not going to say the other person's name. Anyway. Can you believe that guy there holding the sign, road closed? He says, yeah, the road's going to be closed for a year or more, maybe 2 years. So anyway, I'll read some of your comments. Love the mask. Lori Vallow mask. Yeah, I'm going to make it, Karen, I'm going to make an outfit for Lori Vallow. She's got to wear it. Of course, who likes burlap? That's a little itchy. Oh, I made some burlap underwear for a gag gift, and that was everybody's favorite gift for a party. I don't want anyone to visit, but my friends don't care about messy houses. Yeah, my house is a mess. Oh, you crochet, Karen? Oh, man, I can't do that. I just, it was an ad when I came in. That's sad, and there are people who don't have anyone. Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have anybody. Oh, you walk every day, rain or shine? Do you go walk on the beach, cinnamon hot? Call older people. Just call somebody old. If you feel like but you can't take it anymore. I want you to call an old person. Yeah, Marley passed away. We had to put her to sleep. The vet came here. I have a video, not of her passing, but she was given the sedative and she was out of it. And I went to my piano and I played my piano. Well, Marley was being put down. We had the vet come here. He's a very kind person. Did you know veterinarians, physicians, or dentists have the highest suicide rate out of any profession? I think because the veterinarians are always working with death. You know, they're always having to put animals to sleep. I felt bad for the veterinarian who came to put Marley to sleep because he thinks she's an awesome dog. Oops. Oh, my pain is so bad. But like I said, that's why I wanted to share my story with you. Or if you can go to the store, go to the dollar store, spend $1. If you don't have any money, steal something. No, I'm just kidding. You get arrested. Next week when you come, I'll tell you about why I stole why I stole something from Victoria's Secret. Really, but it's a good story. But it's funny. And think about what kind of outfits do people wear when they have fibromyalgia? Pajamas, sweatpants. How about you go to the doctor and a new doctor? I had this happen. I wanted to slap her face. I couldn't believe it. She told me, we had a 9:00 appointment and I went to go see this rheumatologist and I had this 4-month appointment because I had the neuropathy and my EMG and nerve conduction tests really came out bad. So they knew that I was suffering and they wanted me to see the rheumatologist. And so I had waited a couple of months or weeks, I forget how long, to see the rheumatologist. And she was supposed to be very good, but it was a 9:00 in the morning appointment. That's an hour drive. So my husband got me up and I wore my pajamas, which it was just kind of a sweat outfit. It wasn't really like a full-on nightie. Hey, that'd be cool. Wear a sexy nightie. So he wheeled me in. I couldn't walk. I was in complete wheelchair bound because I was that fatigued. I couldn't walk. And my neuropathy was so bad. I was B12 deficient. Watch that movie. I'll leave a link about B12 and the doctor that he almost died from it. And here he is, a doctor. He's a pediatrician. And he couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And my hair used to be down to my butt, but it's breaking off because of my vitamin deficiencies. Anyway, here's Marley. Here's her collar. She weighed 100 pounds. My heart is breaking. Anyway, I want you to hang in there. Some days the pain is just so bad. The doctors won't give you pain meds. Don't go to the ER. You'll get labeled a drug seeker and then you'll never get anything. And if you have fibromyalgia and they don't know what is wrong with you, my brother went to see a rheumatologist, or went to see his new primary doctor at Kaiser. And my brother's been dealing with fibromyalgia for a number of years. And he told the doctor, he says, yeah, I have fibromyalgia. Doctor rolled his eyes. He says, there's no such thing as fibromyalgia. That's nothing but a fat, disgruntled fat housewife disease. She thinks she's got fibromyalgia. There's no such thing as fibromyalgia. What a cruel. Have you ever been told that by a doctor? If so, leave them. That is not a good doctor. A rheumatologist confirmed that I had fibromyalgia, even though my tests all came out negative. Negative for lupus, never for rheumatoid, negative for Crohn's. But all these years, I've had, I've had 2 bowel resections, the fibromyalgia pain really bad. And so I see this doctor just recently, and he says, that's why your tests have come back negative on everything. He says, you have a genetic disease, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And he says, we're finding out it's really a lot more common. So if you've had all these symptoms, like rheumatoid arthritis, like Crohn's disease and lupus, all these things, and the tests come back negative, see a rheumatologist who knows about EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And the number one sign that you have it, does your thumb bend this way? If it does, you have EDS. And my granddaughter has it. It runs in families. It's a genetic disease. But I have been validated big time. And that's what I want done here is I will validate your pain. We have to stick together. It's a pity party that nobody wants to be part of. Nobody wants to hear us whine. Nobody cares. I know this gal, every time I tell her, oh, I had surgery, my pain is really bad.
Oh, yeah, I have the same thing too. I had the too, but I don't need anything for pain because I'm tough.
I thought, good for you. I'm not tough. Give me some drugs. Give me something that helps. And a little bit of oxycodone, there's nothing wrong. Some people find CBD oil works. It doesn't work squat for me. Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, he's selling the CBD oil, and I got 2 of them for $10. But then you can sign up. But if you can't afford it, just sign up for the $10 and then end your credit card before they charge you again. And then it's got a formula for dreams that helps you with sleep. Some people think that that's the cat's meow. I have, before I saw this other rheumatologist, I had a very experienced rheumatologist, and he was our church elder. He was he was a church leader. And he said,
this is buggers.
Bugsy has a girlfriend. Her name is Peaches. She's in Texas. Jules is her owner. Jules of Thought. She's an awesome YouTube creator. But anyway, her cat Peaches is Bugsy's girlfriend. And this is Bugsy Malone. Boggers. He loves his foot played with. Oh, he loves his feet diddled with. But anyway, this church elder, kind of straight-laced guy, I mean, he wouldn't say poof if he had a mouthful, and I'm not kidding you. And he says, sure, I want you to try something. And he shut the door and he says, I don't want you to tell anybody. I said, what? He says, I want you to try marijuana. I said, oh. This was 10 years ago. He says, no, I don't want anybody knowing about it in the church. But I think marijuana is the way you should go. Oh my goodness. Here he is, the church elder, and he wants me to try marijuana. But I'm allergic to it. But if it works for you, go for it. There's growers. You don't have to get your marijuana card. Get it from your grandson. Right, Cameron? Yeah, trying to get me. My grandson says, I've been trying to get you into it for years. Cameron, remember when we smoked it together last? I smoked pot with my grandson. because I wanted some pain relief. I wanted to try it, but I had allergic reaction to it. So I don't know. With Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, you're allergic to everything. Look at my kitty. Isn't he cute? Is Buggers cute or what? He is a rag doll. And have you seen the other rag doll that we have, Misty? You want to see the biggest rag doll you've ever seen? And then I got to end this live. I hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure and contact me on my email for a flax bag, the ones that you warm in the microwave. Oh, that helps so much because you get Raynaud's with fibromyalgia. You get cold hands, cold feet, and then nothing warms them. But you can put your feet in hot water, but you have to have a microwave. The microwave is the only way they'll work. These will work, or you can put them in a crock pot. Leave them in the crock pot all day, but you heat them in the microwave for a minute and a half. Larry, can you open the door for me? I'm going to go over to Paul's house. Larry, oh, okay. My kitchen is almost clean. It's only clean because my husband, he helps me. Open Paul's house. We're going to go into the guest house, Paul's place. Ooh, it's getting cold. And then I got to hang up here. I'll end this, but be sure and let me know what fabric you like. I want to show Misty. This is our guest house. You get through it. Oh, there's Mr. Misty. This is the cutest guest house. And this is Mr. Misty. He's huge. Is this the biggest cat? Hold him, Paul. Hold him like a rag doll. Rag dolls like to be held this way. Is that a big cat? And the breeder from Angelica Ragdoll. She's got kittens. They'll be ready a week before Christmas. They'll be ready to send out. Anyway, this is the guest house. It's got 2 bedrooms. And Paul here for 5.5 years. Anyway. Anyway, Paul plays the piano. Did you clean your bedroom up?